Are you like me? The first time I watched The Santa Claus, I believed it was a safe movie, the kind adults can confidently put on every Christmas without a second thought. The whole family gathers around the TV, Tim Allen appears, children laugh, adults breathe a sigh of relief. But what I didn't know back then was this: the film that carries such warm memories was born from an idea so dark that Disney itself once hesitated to keep it unchanged. In the very first draft, Santa doesn't fall off the roof, he is shot. A single gunshot, death, and from that moment, the story begins. What's even more unsettling is realizing this wasn't an exception. Behind the familiar red suit lay a series of life or death decisions, major comedians turning their backs, a television star deemed unable to carry a box office hit, and behind-the-scenes incidents that forced Disney to quietly rewrite the memories of an entire generation. Into the early 1990s, Tim Allen was familiar on American television thanks to Home Improvement. However, that success wasn't enough to guarantee theatrical viability in Hollywood. A very clear prejudice existed: television actors couldn't automatically become box office stars. With The Santa Claus, this was not only Tim Allen's first leading role in a major theatrical film, but also a holiday season project, a period in which Disney simply could not afford to fail. Placing the entire film in the hands of an actor who had never opened a movie was seen as a genuine gamble. Studio executives worried openly that Allen might only be suitable as a humorous TV dad, not strong enough to carry a character as iconic as Santa Claus. Before Allen, Disney had approached Bill Murray, who had just impressed in Scrooged, 1988. But his grueling experience on that film made him turn away from any holiday-themed project. Then came Chevy Chase, who read the script and gave it serious consideration, but his packed schedule forced him to step aside. Other names floated included Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, Mel Gibson, Tom Selleck, and Kurt Russell, but all stopped at the consideration stage. Only when those familiar options closed did Disney shift to Tim Allen, the riskiest choice of all. Then there was the fat suit. Every day, Allen sat in the makeup chair for 3.5 hours. Not minutes, hours. First came prosthetic layers, then the fat suit, around 75 pounds of padding, foam, and fabric strapped onto his body. When filming wrapped, it took another hour and a half just to remove everything. All told, that meant roughly 5 hours a day just to become and return. Allen later admitted, "I don't know how Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey do it, but I didn't have a choice." The suit was the movie. And the filming took place during a summer heat wave in Toronto. The film was shot in late spring, and throughout summer 1994 temperatures climbed, humidity was high, and Allen was trapped inside 75 pounds of latex. As soon as a take ended, he'd tear off parts of the costume just to breathe and collapse into the shade. Between scenes, he began venting through long profanity-laced rants about the heat. But the set was full of children playing elves, and no one wanted kids to hear a sweaty Santa screaming obscenities. The crew had to pull Allen aside to let him vent far from the child actors. Despite all the chaos, Disney's gamble paid off spectacularly. The film's budget was around $22 million. It premiered on November 11, 1994, earning $19.3 million in its opening weekend and placing second behind Interview with the Vampire. But when Thanksgiving arrived, The Santa Claus unexpectedly surged, grossing $27.4 million and claiming the #1 spot. By the end of its run, the film had earned approximately $190 million worldwide, nearly 9 times its original budget. In November 1994, something unprecedented happened. The Santa Claus topped the box office, Home Improvement was the #1 television show, and Tim Allen's book sat at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. At the same time, in a single week, 3 #1 spots, something that had never happened before. Variety called it unprecedented. The moment didn't last, but for 7 days in November, Tim Allen wasn't just a star, he was the star. Looking back at the entire journey, it's hard to believe this film was once met with doubt and hesitation. A script with a dark tone, a central character considered difficult to sell, a television star who had never carried a theatrical film, grueling shooting conditions, and labor-intensive practical effects. Disney never expected the film to be a massive hit. Yet 30 years later, The Santa Claus is still broadcast, rewatched, and talked about every Christmas season, a clear reminder that sometimes the films that almost shouldn't have existed are the ones that last the longest. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe to Hollywood Unseen. Ring the notification bell because we're unwrapping the untold stories behind your favorite holiday classics, the chaos, gambles, and near disasters that somehow became the movies that defined Christmas for an entire generation.